Whenever you're ready.
No? Okay. Good afternoon, class. My name is Johnny Chavez, and today I will be speaking about how to treat a person with schizophrenia. A person with schizophrenia they suffer from a disorder, from a chemical imbalance. And this came to me, the subject came to me because it's a personal issue to me, because I have an older brother who suffers from schizophrenia. And he was diagnosed when he was 17, and we didn't know about it. First of all, how do we help people with schizophrenia? You could get, personally, I heard from a doctor. I don't have personal testimony. I heard from a doctor, well, basically my brother's doctor, that said that he has to live on medications all his life. Without the medications, he would act up at any time, any moment. And I witnessed this when I was 10 years old, because he would start talking to himself, and I would find that weird. I would be like, "What's wrong with you?" And then he would be like, "I hear things in my head that they're telling me to do things that I really don't want to do," but he can't really stop it. So I felt bad for him. I thought he was crazy at the moment. And then the issues started growing, even at home. He started acting up for example, by selling drugs. He had a daughter. He lost custody of his daughter because of his mental problem. And like right about now, I don't know where he lives. I don't know anything from him. And another point I would like to make is, what is schizophrenia? Schizophrenia is a chronic severe disorder that has affected people throughout history. 1 out of 4 Americans have it. And I got that from National Institute of Mental Health. The term schizophrenia, which means split mind, was first used in 1911 by Swiss psychiatrist Eugene Buehler to categorize patients whose thought process and emotional responses seem disconnected. Despite its name, the condition does not have caused a split personality. Causes and risks of inheriting schizophrenia. The risk of inheriting schizophrenia, there's many factors that can cause it. Like, for example, environmental causes. In my opinion, I believe that it was his surroundings that caused him to grow into that schizophrenic mind process. Because he hanged around with the wrong crowd, they influenced him to do bad things. And I was little, so I didn't really know about anything. It's 10% of people that inherit. And those who have the immediate family member with the disease, and about 40% of the disease affect both parents or an identical twin. Family members of patients also appear to have high risks for the specific symptoms. Causes: a winter and spring birth environment. The risk for schizophrenia worldwide is 5 to 8% higher for those born during winter and spring, when colds and viruses are more prevalent. Large families. The risk for schizophrenia is also greater in large families, in which there are short intervals between siblings, 2 or fewer years. Such observations suggest that exposure to infection early in infancy may help set the stage for later development of the disease. Pregnant mothers' exposure to viruses as well. The mother's exposure to viral infections such as rubella, measles, chickenpox, of others while the infant is still in the womb. who are affected by schizophrenia. However, Dr. Morgan said more work was needed to fully understand how specific types of early social adversity might interact with psychological and biological factors to cause schizophrenia. I got that from a New York Times article. It affects society. An article from the New York Times presents a case report for a 39-year-old male patient was diagnosed with first episode schizophrenia, paranoid type, in Cologne Department of Psychiatry and Psychotherapy. Positive and negative syndrome scales rating amounted to 86, and the severity of the patient's illness was estimated as markedly ill in the severity scale of the clinical global impression. Thank you. Hopefully you don't go through this situation ever. But if you do come across a person that speaks to himself, don't judge the person by the way they act, because you never know what might happen later on. Thank you. Have a good day.
Okay. 6 minutes, 20 seconds. John, that was it's a terrific topic. And there's a lot of information there. It was just really all over the place.
Yeah.
A little bit of this, and a little bit of that, and then I went back to this, and then it went on to something else, and you can see how it would be difficult to follow that.
It's difficult to speak about it.
It's a good topic. F5 starts these. Just hold it a second.